Hey, it's Francis. Now, if you ever had that streak, that winning streak in trading where you feel untouchable, trade after trade, you're racking up those wins. Your confidence is sky high and you're starting to think to yourself, maybe I've cracked the code. Maybe I'm a full-time trader. I've got this in the bag. This seems easy. Or maybe it's the opposite side where you're on a brutal losing streak and you feel, I just cannot get the hang of this. Whether that's consistency, whether that's regular wins, I just cannot seem to get the hold of this, right? Is it luck? Well, I'm about to tell you that's more to do with a force that a lot of people do not speak about. And that force, my friends, is called regression to the mean. Now, if you don't understand regression to the mean, it's going to mess with your mindset. It's going to mess with your whole belief system, sabotage with your confidence, etc. All these things. And ultimately, you're never going to be profitable when it comes to your trading. Now, there's many skills, as we know, in trading, and check out all the previous videos. But this, for me, is something that has recently, I've started to look at trades a little bit different. Now, I was already doing this, but I didn't know what I was actually doing. Now, what you will be able to do when you understand what I'm just about to show you in this video is you're going to be able to stay grounded. You're going to be able to avoid the costly mistakes that I tell everybody to stop doing. And if you're in my community, you will hear me say, stop trading garbage, because that is something that people always trade. And you'll be able to make smarter trading decisions. So just stick with me for these 8, 10, 12, 15 minutes, however long that I ramble on. Because if you can't stick here for that, then ultimately you're probably never going to be a profitable trader. So firstly, we need to understand what regression to the mean is, all right? So let me break it down. Regression to the mean is a concept, okay, from where statistics are the ruler. It's based on statistics. And how that happens is extreme outcomes are usually followed by more average ones, okay? Seems very simple. And in trading terms, that insane hot streak or that one big player or that one big payout that you get ultimately is going to be followed by average ones. That's how it's going to be. It's going to cool off. And that's the hard part when it comes to trading and what we don't learn from. So the awful slump where you catch yourself, can't even catch a break, that will also not last forever because that's not the mean. So it can work in both possible ways. So just think of it as very simply like this. In sports, especially in football, soccer, if you're over the States, manager of the month or player of the month, there's only one way after that. And they normally go back down because how they got that award was they was above their average and they was in a hot streak. And then the average will come back down and then people say, well, they weren't as good as last week. That is the regression to the mean. Let's think of it as a poker player. Okay, they might have a big win. They might win a tournament, but that doesn't mean they're always going to win every time and they're always going to win that tournament. Because once things settle back down and we get back to their average playing field, we come back down, they're not going to be on that hot streak again. So just think of a line in the middle of your trading journey or your life journey, and in the middle is the regression to the mean. And every so often you're going to have spikes and be euphoric and be great. And then every so often you're going to come back down and you're going to feel rock bottom. But over time, you will be in the middle of that regression to the mean. So as you can see, this both applies for strategies. It's going to both apply for obviously you as an individual as well, which is very important. Now, some traders have incredible traits, okay? They think that that is it. They think they've made it and that's it. They've cracked the code. On the flip side, we've got people who can struggle for months. So many traders have different experiences, from losing streaks that are very painful and they're going to abandon that strategy and strategy hop, from people who get beginner's luck, as they say, and then they get where they need to get to, and then all of a sudden they hit a brick wall and they can't get where they need to get to. By you understanding the regression to the mean, it makes you step back from outside of yourself and start to realize that actually this is just a hot streak or this is just a bad streak. Now, it can work against you, as we know. But first, I want to talk about how it's going to affect you on a psychological level, right? So let's just get a little bit tiny deeper. There are real dangers in streaks, whether they're losing or whether they're losing or winning, whether they're one trade or whether they're 10 trades, okay? But what we must remember is it's all just a numbers game. But the problem is this is going to hijack your mindset. And this is where you need to be aware of what's going on. So how does regression to the mean hijack our mindset? Well, let's think about it this way. Think about that beginner's luck. Think about when you first got into trading, and most of you would have had that beginner's luck where you hit a red or a green, you've seen something and you thought, well, this was very easy, okay? Or say you was on a hot streak. You already know what you're doing, but you say you're on a hot streak. Now, When you experience these unusual winning streaks, your confidence skyrockets. You may start oversizing. You may start doing etc. and things like that. And I know I'm talking to you because this is probably hitting you right where it needs to hit you. And you feel like you can't do anything wrong. Oh, I'm going to get the payout, or I've had a payout, and I'm going to get another payout, or I'm flying on this, and this is going to happen. This often leads to overtrading. And there's someone in my community, and they're going to laugh when I say this, they overtrade. They overtrade. I have other people in the community who trade too high risk, and they're probably going around in this loop where it's highs and lows and highs and lows, and then the regression to the mean is really, really bad. That's probably what they're suffering from. Now, when you feel like you can't do anything wrong, you've got to think about what's your brain and what's your mindset actually telling you. And that's why you get overconfident. And then you start increasing your risk. And then you start abandoning your disciplined, methodical way of trading. And you get hit straight away and you're done. It's happened to me many, many times before on this journey. And it happens to my students that I teach. Even now, some of them have been trading for a very, very long time. They are going to still have that. The inevitable is going to come. The inevitable is going to hit you straight in your face. Okay. Then you've got to look at the other side, as in if you're losing streak. Okay. So on the flip side, if a trader is going on a very, very long losing streak, you know, their strategies, they're doing the same strategy. It can't work out. They seem to be losing 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trades out of 10. They start questioning what's actually going on. They start questioning their ability. They start questioning their strategy. And then they start making these impulsive decisions to try and get themselves out of trouble. And then what happens eventually is they probably give up altogether. And what they don't realize is that this drawdown is just often part of the natural cycle, because you're not going to always be winning in trading. You're going to have a natural part of a natural cycle. And again, in return, the regression to the mean is going to bring you back up to the level that you're actually at. So if you're a terrible trader now and you're impulsive and you're a gambler and you FOMO, yes, you might get a good run and you might get a payout. Yes, you might pass some valuations or combines or funded accounts, but the chances are you're going to be coming straight back down to where you are. So if you're a terrible trader at the moment and you have these impulsive decisions, it doesn't matter if you get a payout every so often and that boosts your dopamine hit and your ego, you're still going to come back down to where you are. Okay. If you're on a losing streak and you're terribly losing, but your average is not, then you're going to come back up to your average as not. Okay. So how's regression to the mean going to affect you and I as traders? Okay, so this is how it's going to help you. And I'm also going to tell you how it can absolutely crush you if you don't take note of this. Okay, so if you understand it, you'll know that winning and losing streaks are often natural fluctuations. You must accept, like Tom Hogarth says, best loser wins. You must accept the natural fluctuations of your trading journey and your trading career. There's nothing that you can do to consistently be the same great all the time. It's not going to work. Just like when you have a huge working day and you do like a 8-9 block hour day, you've taken energy from the next day. So you need to make sure that by Friday, you've not completely burnt out. And that's what will happen. In trading, it's the same sort of thing. You must accept the waves as you're going through trading. So this is going to keep your emotions in check. There's no doubt about that. It's going to be able to keep your emotions in check. It's going to prevent you overconfident. It's going to prevent then obviously self-doubt from clouding your judgment. Because as I've said a million times, trading is all about psychology. The strategy is easy. It's easy. It's easy. Just watch my live streams. It's easy. You just need to find something that works for you. Not all the indicators, not the jazz, not the crazy words, not the PhD stuff. Simple stuff. But if you're not clued in on the self-development, self-mastery, another book that I'm starting today, okay, then you're probably not going to be able to deal with the fluctuations. And that's what you need to do. On the flip side, this is how it's going to smash you to bits, and you're going to be going round and round in circles, and you're going to be another statistic like all the other people that lose all these trades. Remember, the stats are well against you. For every 100 traders, there may be 6 to 7 that actually get a payout. And there's only 15 or 16 on a percentage, which is quite high at the moment, that are even going to be able to get funded. So think about it. Think about what is against you. And what's going to crush you is this. Here's the trap. Traders, when they go on a hot streak, increase their risk. That's a big problem. You think you've cracked the code. I've said it numerous times. You think you can't lose. You get slammed by the market. It absolutely humbles you. without you knowing that you are in the situation and you've been absolutely humbled. That's what's going to happen. Now, on the flip side, traders can obviously change that by not revenge trading. Do not revenge trade. That is absolutely key. And then also say to yourself, well, I'm not going to quit during this slump. I'm not going to quit during this slump. But if you don't have that mindset, you're going to get absolutely crushed. There's no way about it. So either way, even if you don't recognize regression to the mean, you're going to make disastrous decisions based on average temporary results. There and there, you're not going to be aware what's actually going on. So it's very, very important that you understand what this video is about, okay? Remember, you are going to become back to your average self. And that's why you need your stats. Go and check out timing video. Go and check out the stats. Go and check out journal videos. They're all there for you to learn. And like I say, you need this information to trade. Not how much I earn, not how much this person earns over there, not how much I'm funded, not how much he's funded, not how percentage a month. It's taking the information from all the videos and the strategies that you see from myself and many other people and making it unique to you, and you go and earn the money. That's what these are about. Because again, we can all fraud left, right, and center screenshots of whatever these people are doing. I mean, what's going on in the world of futures at the moment on Twitter, it's an embarrassing. You say, leave the circus to the clowns. Leave the circus to the clowns and you do your thing. So what actionable steps can you take right now to start your discipline? Okay, so you need to protect yourself, right? You need to protect yourself. You can't protect yourself if you're not aware of these emotional swings. So one, you need to become aware of these emotional swings. So what do you need to do? Well, first of all, you must have data. In the last video that I've shown you about the data, you must have data, which then builds confidence, clarity, and focus. That's very, very important. That's going to be your edge. And if your edge has the statistical data, you know when you go on a 10K, 20, 30K payout, that's not it. And you're going to come straight back down sooner or later. Okay, you also know that if you're in the drawdown, if you stick to it and you've got the data, you're going to come back to the regression of the mean. Manage risk, regardless of how you are performing. What I mean by that is don't get reckless when you are winning or desperately losing. Try and rein it in and understand that your risk is where you're going to be. It's risk what keeps you in the game, by the way, okay? Number 3 is going to be set fixed trading rules. You must have your trading rules. I don't like to take no more than 2 to 3 trades a day. If my first trade is a winner, I don't trade for the rest of the day. If my first trade is a loser, I'll take a second trade. If that's kind of like break even, I'll take a third. If it's a loser, I'll be out of the market. Okay? Have set rules in your trading times and your trading what you're doing. I work with so many people, they overtrade, they trade at 8 o'clock in the morning, they trade at 8 o'clock at night, they trade this, they trade that, they trade this, they trade that, and then they say, I'm not getting anywhere. That's why. Number 4, use a journal. You got to use a journal. And number 5 is have a daily loss limit, whether that's maximum or whether that's daily or whether that's weekly. Make sure you have a loss limit. I don't need that self-explanatory. This is common sense. What you should not do. Mistake a hot streak for invincibility. Get your ego out of the way. Ego is the enemy by Ryan Holiday. Obstacle is the way by Ryan Holiday. Get your ego out of the way, all right? You are not invincible. You are human, and the regression to the mean is a natural universal law, and it will bring you straight back down to where you belong. Number 2, panic during your drawdown. No need to panic. Because once you panic and you understand, guess what? It can only get better. Just as when it gets really amazing, it's probably always going to get worse. Once it gets worse, it's probably going to get better. No panicking. Number 3, do not increase position size to revenge trade. It's what will wreck us all. It's what's wrecked me many times, and it's what will wreck you. Number 4, do not abandon your working strategy. Like my strategy works, we've got the stats. Do not abandon your working strategy, okay? It's very, very important. So let's put what I've just spoke about into perspective, all right? In some real world kind of context, all right? You've all heard of beginner's luck. You've all heard of beginner's luck, and we know how that ends, all right? You may be a beginner's luck. New trader, first few trades, makes a killing. makes an absolute killing. And you see this a lot in crypto on their meme coins, makes an absolute killing. So what do? They think it's easy and they start increasing size, they start taking more risk, etc., ignoring all the signs, and then the market humbles them straight away. Bang, job done, paper millionaire, finished, all over. Your targets have now gone. Your gains are now absolutely gone. Then you've got to look at the devastating losing streak, okay? A solid trader experiences a period of a very, very bad looking, losing streak. He starts to panic. He starts to change his entire strategy. He starts looking at himself. He starts questioning his belief system, etc., only to go and then mess it up. But if he stayed the course with his edge, he would have just got back to exactly where he was through the law of the regression of the mean. Now, then you've got a final kind of example would be the professional mindset of how you're going to be looking at things. Now, a proper trader, a seasoned trader, knows that winning and losing is a part of the game. We know that you are going to win or you're going to lose. It's not going to affect my day if I lose on a Monday morning. Okay. What I do know is that the regression of the mean is going to bring me back. So I have to stay disciplined. If I stay disciplined, control my risk, it's inevitable that I'm just going to come back to where I am. It's just law. It's just going to happen. It's universal law. It is inevitable. So I'm not looking at short-term goals. I'm not looking at short-term data. I'm looking at long-term data, okay? And over time, this consistent approach with your edge is going to make you profitable, okay? So listen, traders, right? It isn't about winning all the time. You're not going to be able to win all the time. It's about understanding the probabilities. I've spoke about probabilities many times before on this channel and in the videos that I've done. Stick with your strategy and manage risk. Probabilities, sticking with your strategy and managing risk. The regression to the mean isn't just some theory, okay? It's recently what I've been reading about. It's the reason why traders who chase streaks get absolutely burnt out, all right? It's the reason that happens. And if you don't stay disciplined, again, the law's just going to come back and humble you, okay? It's very, very important. So that's all I'm going to say about this. It's a more in-depth. I like to make these videos. We've got the feedback loop. You've got simplicity. Today I'm talking about the regression to the mean. And not a lot of traders talk about this type of thing because it's obvious. But if you don't know what that law is and you don't know what that natural power, that force is, then you don't really understand it. So if you understand what it means, it gives you that confidence to get back where you really, really need to get to. So if you like this type of work, let me know in the comments. If you understand that, if there's anything other subjects that you want me to go deep on, let me know. Any other type of content, someone's talking about maybe a weekly vlog of the things that I get up with the High Rocks training and all things like that, let me know. Would really, really be interested in what else you see. And if you need any help with any of this type of stuff, book a call with me. There is only a few spots left for my one-to-one mentorship, but we will be opening a group mentorship probably around the end of March or maybe the end of April after the boot camp. So as always, God bless, and I'll see you all on the next one.